Your Notre Dame live stream will begin soon. Thanks for watching. Your Notre Dame live stream will begin soon. Thanks for watching. Your Notre Dame live stream will begin soon. Thanks for watching. Your Notre Dame live stream will begin soon. Thanks for watching. Your Notre Dame live stream will begin soon. Thanks for watching. Your Notre Dame live stream will begin soon. Thanks for watching. Your Notre Dame live stream will begin soon. Thanks for watching. Your Notre Dame live stream will begin soon. Thanks for watching. Your Notre Dame live stream will begin soon. Thanks for watching. Your Notre Dame live stream will begin soon. Thanks for watching. Your Notre Dame live stream will begin soon. Thanks for watching. Your Notre Dame live stream will begin soon. Thanks for watching. Your Notre Dame live stream will begin soon. Thanks for watching. Your Notre Dame live stream will begin soon. Thanks for watching. Your Notre Dame live stream will begin soon. Thanks for watching. Your Notre Dame live stream will begin soon. Thanks for watching. Your Notre Dame live stream will begin soon. Thanks for watching. Your Notre Dame live stream will begin soon. Thanks for watching. Your Notre Dame live stream will begin soon. Thanks for watching. Your Notre Dame live stream will begin soon. Thanks for watching. Your Notre Dame live stream will begin soon. Thanks for watching. Your Notre Dame live stream will begin soon. Thanks for watching. Your Notre Dame live stream will begin soon. Thanks for watching. Your Notre Dame live stream will begin soon. Thanks for watching. Your Notre Dame live stream will begin soon. Thanks for watching. Your Notre Dame live stream will begin soon. Thanks for watching.
Welcome to the DeBartolo Performing Arts Center at the University of Notre Dame. Please use this moment to take out your phones and ensure they are on silent mode. Although photography and videography are allowed, for the safety of the graduates, please do not use a flash. Finally, please take a moment to locate your nearest exit, which may be different from the entrance you used. Our usher staff is here to assist you in case of an emergency. Thank you for your cooperation.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the degree recipients and faculty of the University of Notre Dame. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our honorees, the deans, and other distinguished members of the Commencement Platform Party.
Good morning. Dear graduates, family members, and friends, and everyone watching from afar, on behalf of the President, the Interim Provost, Vice Presidents, Deans, and the faculty of the University of Notre Dame, I welcome you, finally, to this truly joyous celebration. Today we will recognize degrees already conferred virtually upon students whom we honor for lives of scholarship and research and charge them to continue to place their learning in the service of humanity. Please be seated. My name is Laura Carlson. I'm a professor of psychology, and I serve as Vice President, Associate Provost, and Dean of the Graduate School. It is my honor to introduce members of the Platform Party. Please stand when I call your name. Father John Jenkins, President of the University. Professor Chris Mazur, Vice President and Interim Provost of the University. Dr. Michael Pippinger, Vice President and Associate Provost for Internationalization. Professor Bob Bernhard, Vice President for Research. Professor Sarah Mastillo, the I.A. O'Shaughnessy Dean of the College of Arts and Letters. Professor Patricia Culligan, the Matthew H. McCloskey Dean of the College of Engineering. Professor Santiago Schnell, the William K. Warren Foundation Dean of the College of Science. Professor Scott Appleby, the Marilyn Keough Dean of the Keough School of Global Affairs. I now ask that the 2020 winner of the Reverend James A. Burns CSC Award, Professor Joseph Warrico, to come forward to deliver the invocation. Please all rise.
Good and gracious God, as we not only honor these men and women, these scholars and professionals, we also send them forth from this university, which is honored to be named after that young woman who became the mother of your Son. Mary, Mother of God, has been given many titles. Mary is the seat of wisdom. O God, grant these men and women, through her intercession, the gifts of wisdom and prudence. Mary is the mother of good counsel. Grant them, by her prayers, sound judgment. She is the mirror of justice. Through her intercession, grant them to live justly in service to the common good of humanity. She is the solace of migrants and comforter of the afflicted. Grant these men and women, by her intercession, a sensitivity and commitment to the most vulnerable. She is the health of the sick. By her prayers, grant them health of both body and soul. And Mary is the morning star. Grant that, following her example of fidelity, humility, and trust, these graduates may walk always in the light and strength of her Son's gospel. Within and across their chosen fields and specializations, may they be women and men who foster peace and justice, who nurture harmony and reconciliation, and who build up the human community. And may Mary of Nazareth, Notre Dame, our mother, continue to watch over and protect both this university, which bears her name, and all of us who have been entrusted with the sacred task of forming the minds and hearts of those who study here. We pray, as always, through Christ our Lord. Amen.
Thank you, Professor Rowick. Joe, I'm sorry. But thank you for that lovely and heartfelt prayer. Good morning, colleagues and guests, and welcome home, class of 2020. I am delighted to be part of this delayed but not diminished commencement ceremony. Having overcome the challenges that prevented us from gathering in 2020, my hope is that this culminating event is made richer and more meaningful because we waited for the right time to safely celebrate together. Today's speaker, Dr. Robert Bernhardt, knows something about the value of proper timing. His own journey to become a member of the Notre Dame community was deferred not once, not twice, but 3 times. Dr. Bernhardt grew up in the northwest Iowa farming community of Algona. In high school, a teacher encouraged him to apply to Notre Dame. He earned acceptance into the university, but with no scholarship, ultimately enrolled at Iowa State. After receiving a Bachelor of Science in Mechanical Engineering from Iowa State, he took a job as an engineer with Westinghouse Electric Company in Baltimore. He also earned his master's degree in mechanical engineering from the University of Maryland before returning to Iowa State to pursue his doctorate in engineering mechanics and serve on the engineering faculty. After completing his doctoral studies, Dr. Bernhardt sought positions at 4 institutions, including the University of Notre Dame. However, a blizzard in South Bend, something unknown to happen around here, canceled his planned visit to campus that was somehow never rescheduled. As a result, he accepted an offer to join the School of Mechanical Engineering at Purdue University. At Purdue, Dr. Bernhardt held leadership roles at the Institute for Safe, Quiet, and Durable Highways and the Ray W. Herrick Laboratories before being named Associate Vice President for Research for Centers and Institutes in 2004. Meanwhile, at Notre Dame in 2006, Frank Increpera was preparing to step down as Dean of the College of Engineering. Before coming to Notre Dame, Increpera just so happened to work at Purdue as the head of the School of Mechanical Engineering. He reached out to his former colleague about pursuing the deanship. Dr. Bernhard was intrigued, but decided not to apply. Okay, I think we're up to 3 now. Okay. Just 1 year later, a new opportunity arose at Notre Dame with the creation of the position of Vice President for Research. The charge was to help to bring to life the vision of University President Reverend John Jenkins for Notre Dame to be one of the preeminent research institutions in the world while remaining true to its Catholic identity. Dr. Bernhard has said that he quickly realized that this was the job for him. Quote, "It seemed like all my career experiences had led me to this role," he said. The timing was finally right for him to come home to the University of Notre Dame. He became Notre Dame's Vice President for Research in August of 2007, addressing infrastructure and support of research, the work of faculty, graduate, and undergraduate students alike, and the competition for funding dollars. As a result, Notre Dame has become one of the fastest growing research institutions in the nation, with research award funding for fiscal year 2021 topping $222 million. He has cultivated an environment of strong faculty engagement and has worked to ensure that participation in research programs is a central component of undergraduate, graduate, and postdoctoral education at Notre Dame. Research, he has said, quote, "is our impact on the world." And under Bob's leadership, Notre Dame has been at the forefront of major advances and discoveries that help address global challenges such as historic monument preservation, poverty eradication, disease transmission and control, energy conversion and storage, global health, climate change and sustainability, predatory lending practices, and wireless technology. As a professor in our Department of Aerospace and Mechanical Engineering, he is also one of the nation's leading experts on noise control and a frequent consultant to industry and government. He holds 2 patents and is a fellow of the American Society of Mechanical Engineers. In addition, he is the president of the International Institute of Noise Control Engineering and a fellow of the Acoustical Society of America. In 2003, he was named a Distinguished Noise Control Engineer by the Institute of Noise Control Engineering in 2003. It's been my pleasure to work so closely with Dr. Bernhard, and it is even a greater honor to call him a friend. To quote a recent Notre Dame valedictorian, "Let's make some noise for Bob Bernhard."
The provost knows me pretty well, and I wasn't sure what this introduction was going to be like. It's going to be very gracious and very clean, Chris. Reverend Father President Jenkins, Provost Mazar, Dean Carlson, colleagues in the Platform Party, friends and family, and especially the 2020 graduates of the Graduate School at the University of Notre Dame. Greetings. To the class of 2020, welcome back to campus to celebrate your graduation. We are so very proud and grateful to you that you have chosen to come back after 2 years to celebrate your graduation with us today. I must also say that I'm loving this opportunity to address you. What a unique opportunity. I don't have to use the standard commencement script. You've already commenced. Since you've already made a lot of decisions and experienced many challenges and disappointments, instead of talking about a theoretical commencement, this is an opportunity to stand back and reflect together on the many happenings of the last 2 years as a model of what is to come. This is an interesting opportunity to take stock in the role that values play in your decisions and to prepare you for the 10 or so major transitions that you can expect to experience in your lifetime. Of any class, your commencing experience has been unique. Your plans to finish your graduate studies in spring of 2020 were likely disrupted when the campus closed and most of our operations were disrupted. I can only imagine the angst that you must have had not knowing when or how you would graduate. Your post-graduation plans were probably affected by the uncertainties facing employers in 2020. If and when you started the position, you started work in a remote work environment physically separated from your colleagues. Then a year or so later, you were undoubtedly affected by reopening, supply chain challenges, and the Great Resignation. When I put on my I love all things research hat, your experience is going to be a great case studies for the future. My avocation is leadership, particularly higher education leadership. It's pretty clear that managing transition is a significant part of higher education leadership, both for the leaders themselves as they navigate significant changes in their own professional life, but also in leading others who are experiencing transition. Imagine the department chair or dean that has to deal with faculty going through a mid-career crisis, or a faculty facing the transition of retirement. I'm not going to look over to my left here to see if anybody's smiling or groaning right now. Along with leadership characteristics such as authenticity, self-awareness, integrity, and inclusiveness, the understanding of transition is one of the primary challenges of leadership. There is significant literature about transitions that all point to how critical a successful and complete transition is. My own personal favorite is the book by William Bridges called Transitions, Making Sense of Life's Changes. Bridges' thesis is that the transitions in life, both personal and professional, are a three-part process: an ending, an uncomfortable middle, and a new beginning. Applied to graduation with a graduate degree, that three-part process implies an ending of your graduate program, an uncomfortable middle to your next calling, and then an enthusiastic beginning of your next life. So, how's that all worked out for the class of 2020? The ending of your graduate school days is generally not the hardest transition you'll make. First of all, it's voluntary, unlike involuntary transitions you might face, such as losing a job or the death of a loved one. And most of you, I think, are very, very, very happy to have reached the finish line. So that ending should be pretty easy. But not everybody completes this phase easily. Some people don't want to leave their graduate program. They seek another environment as similar to the graduate program as possible. Or they continue to operate like a graduate student in their new role and fail to launch. Or they attempt to maintain their identity as a graduate student. A young assistant professor told me just a few days ago that he would prefer to still be a postdoc working in the lab. He isn't sure he wants the responsibilities of writing grants and advising students. So how did this go for you? As you think about your own experiences, did you have a successful ending? Or are you still in the process of ending? The uncomfortable middle is the part of the transition where I worry the most about graduate students. Many students I've observed at the end of their studies don't put enough energy or thought into the uncomfortable middle. The simultaneous demands of wrapping up classes, exams, and a thesis, on top of the time demands of doing a thorough job search, generally mean that the deep contemplation needed for discernment takes a back seat. My own graduate students were pretty wild-eyed and obsessive when they were in their last year. They were going to finish their thesis no matter what. In this crazy finishing mode, many were also trying to secure a job. I've observed students who took the first opportunity offered, others who chose to do what others wanted them to do, and still others who chose to do what they dreamed of when they started their graduate program rather than what they were prepared to do by the end of their graduate program. A quick and easy decision often manifests itself in an unhappy first job experience. When I graduated with my bachelor's degree, I was told that 90% of newly graduated engineers changed jobs within the first 4 years. I didn't believe that was possible. But from what I observed, that number was about right. The retention statistics for second jobs was much better. It seemed like second-time job seekers made better decisions. Maybe because of the pandemic, some of you had an involuntary gap year. I'd be interested to know how perceptions changed as you navigated the uncomfortable middle in that gap year. And for all the parents that worried about that gap year, or the seemingly unhurried approach of your student not finding a job after all those years in college, maybe this isn't a bad thing. I'd certainly be interested to hear. For some of you that took jobs after graduation, I wonder how you might think, how many of you might think you're still in the uncomfortable middle, realizing that the current job isn't right and you're on the trajectory that really doesn't fulfill you. If so, you're not alone. There are many stories, including my own, where people come to the realization that everything about this job is pretty much as advertised, and it's exactly what you thought you wanted, but it's not what you're called to do. In my case, thank goodness that I stepped back and took another path. I have another example of the uncomfortable middle that you'll all relate to, and this one includes parents and spouses. What are you going to do with all that extra money now that you have a salary and don't have to worry about tuition? I can only imagine how totally, truly uncomfortable you are trying to transition your budget. If you're having trouble with the uncomfortable middle on this front, the Notre Dame Development Office will be in touch to give you some choices. William Bridges and others counsel patience in this uncomfortable middle. Many of these major transitions are the opportunity to transform yourself personally and professionally in some dimension. That transformation will take time and discernment. You have to detach to reattach. The uncomfortable middle is one time in particular where I hope that your Notre Dame experience will make a difference. Decisions in this uncomfortable middle are life-changing and should be made based on values. I'll come back to the decision-making process and the uncomfortable middle a little bit later. Finally, the third leg of the transition process is the new beginning. The literature says, and my observations confirm, that if you're conscientious about your ending and the discernment in the uncomfortable middle, you will start the new phase of your life with enthusiasm and commitment. Very early in my career, I noticed that people who were still agonizing over whether they had made the right job decision tended to hedge on committing to a new role. Their success and their happiness in that new role didn't match those that were all in and committed. In sending off my own graduate students, I always advise them to make a commitment to the job for some predetermined period of time, then stick their head up and assess whether the path they were on was the right path. While no job is perfect under the microscope of daily scrutiny, it is lost energy to be anxiously assessing every activity. You miss the big picture when all you see are the trees and not the forest. Set a deadline, commit to the job. When you hit the deadline, stick your head up and make an assessment. If the job isn't right, start a new transition. If it is right, put your head down and take another lap. So back to the uncomfortable middle in Notre Dame. Whenever I've had the opportunity, I've asked about the life story of people I admire. People that are accomplished, fulfilled, and contented. Sort of that serene and self-confident person. I've yet to hear anyone say that things went anywhere close to their original plan. They all pretty much describe a sequence of transitions. Some of those transitions were involuntary. Some were enabled by a mentor. Some were opportunistic. Some were deliberately sought. Those transitions all add up to an unplanned and unimagined life story. All of these transitions involve decisions. Many were difficult, close calls. Option A and option B seemed pretty similar at the time. Others are hard decisions between apples and oranges. One value of salary versus another value of service. Those that have had these magical life stories always refer to these transitions as close calls or difficult decisions at the time, but reflect later how lucky or blessed they were that they had made the right decision. And they generally made a long sequence of right decisions. My observations of these highly successful and fulfilled people is that they didn't make this entire sequence of correct decisions by accident. They were consistently making value-based decisions. They chose to work for a company with clear values and a culture of inclusiveness and support. They chose to work with selfless people with clear values. They consistently chose the option that used their God-given talents or the option for which they were called. At Notre Dame, I know you've heard over and over that the university aspires to be a force for good. I hope you've heard over and over that our greatest mechanism for being a force for good is you, the students we send out into the world. And I hope you've heard over and over that you matter. That calling to be a force for good is a difference maker. In the various moments of discernment, if you remember that call, including the call to use your talents to serve, you'll have the North Star you need to make your own sequence of right decisions to live a fulfilled and well-lived life in service to those around you. By the fact that you have chosen to do graduate study, you've already demonstrated that you have the emotional intelligence to defer gratification for a greater good. By coming to Notre Dame, you've already been exposed to a values-based education. These values are a great start. With experience and maturity, you'll grow in the breadth and depth of your North Stars and values. Dr. Moniz said in the recent 2022 graduate school commencement ceremony that commencement speeches have a very short half-life. So I tried to find a short, pithy statement that you could take away from today that would capture what you should seek when you face major transitions. A reminder to you to live a value-based life where you will serve others, avoid the temptations of instant gratification, and to find and follow your calling. I believe that when your aspiration matches your calling, when your aspiration aligns with your calling, you will experience a state of happiness, satisfaction, pride, and well-being, regardless of how challenging that job might be. What would you call that? The best term I could come up with was joy. Joy seems like a good term for a combination of happiness, satisfaction, pride, and well-being. So the catchphrase I offer you today is, seek joy. The path to joy is not the easiest path. It is not the path of continuous happiness or the path that might bring you the most fame. But I definitely also believe that if you are truly self-aware, the path of joy will also not be the hardest path because you will be doing what you know how to do and what you are called to do. In the 10 or so major transitions you will face in your life, I urge you to remember the 3-step process of transition. Remember to be patient and deliberate, particularly with the uncomfortable middle. And when you are looking for a North Star to help you make the right decision among various potentially good options, seek joy. Let me close by asking that you keep in your prayers Dean Carlson as she transitions to her new role as Provost at the University of Delaware, Provost Mazar as she transitions back to her role as Senior Associate Provost in July, Provost-elect John McGreevy as he transitions the role of Provost at Notre Dame in July, and for me as I consider my transition out of the role of Vice President for Research at Notre Dame and enter my own uncomfortable middle. May God bless you, and remember, seek joy.
Thank you, Bob, for your remarks about transitions and the extremely timely challenge to push through the uncomfortable middle. On a more personal note, I think I speak for all of us in the Notre Dame community when I say that I hope your transition to retirement jumps straight to the path of joy. Know that we are incredibly grateful for your long service to Our Lady's University. We come now to the celebration of degrees previously conferred. We'll first recognize our PhD recipients. Doctoral graduates, please assemble by college at the direction of the marshals. As you make your way forward, I want to acknowledge that the ways that this ceremony, much like most of our lives these past 2 years, is a bit turned on its head. In an ordinary year, our PhD candidates are first hooded by their faculty mentor and thereafter receive their diplomas and then have their degrees conferred. But because of the pandemic, this was reversed. Degrees were conferred virtually, diplomas were mailed out, and no hooding took place until now. In addition, a normal commencement ceremony involves graduates, both doctoral and masters, receiving their actual diploma as they walk across the stage. But because they were mailed out 2 years ago, that part will be different as well. Of course, as in all things pandemic too, these things create opportunities. And so for us, it was an opportunity to reflect on the uniqueness of the class of 2020. So graduates, as you walk across the stage, Father Jenkins will give you a diploma holder like this. But in it, you will find an image of Hesburgh Library, and it's overlaid with these words. On this day, we acknowledge adversity beyond your control. We recognize your resilience. We honor your dedication to scholarship. We celebrate your long overdue commencement ceremony. Notre Dame class of 2020, we offer for you this prayer for the next phase of your journey. Lord, give us the ambition to do as much as we can, as well as we can, as long as we can, and the resolve not to despair over the things that we cannot do. In times of trouble and doubt, our hope is that this prayer from Father Ted Hesburgh, hung perhaps on your living room wall or amid the clutter of your office, will provide encouragement and a light for the path ahead. Indeed, let it be a tangible reminder of your many hours of study in Father Ted's library or in the back of your lab, pushing through the darkness in search of knowledge and truth. I now call on the PhDs to begin assembling at the direction of the marshals, and I call on Professor Sarah Mastillo, the Dean of the College of Arts and Letters, to present her recipients of the Doctor of Philosophy degree.
Will the recipients of the degree of the Doctor of Philosophy in the College of Arts and Letters and their directors please step forward? Carrie Adam Balser, Doctor of Philosophy, Economics. Nathan Peter Chase, Doctor of Philosophy, Theology. Gregory Michael Cruis, Doctor of Philosophy, Theology. Roberto Jose de la Noval, Doctor of Philosophy, Theology. Douglas Ernest Duhame, Doctor of Philosophy, English. Robert Jeffrey Thomas Edwards, Doctor of Philosophy, Theology. Chelsea Jordan King, Doctor of Philosophy, Theology. Reverend David C. Eliona Limo, CSC, Doctor of Philosophy, Theology. Kevin Daniel Magas, Doctor of Philosophy, Theology. Nathan William Edmund O'Halloran, S.J., Doctor of Philosophy, Theology. Jillian Pamela Plummer, Doctor of Philosophy, History. Natalie Carol Sargent, Doctor of Philosophy, History. Ruth Fondy Speidel, Doctor of Philosophy, Psychology, Research, and Experimental. Benjamin Anthony Stone, Doctor of Musical Arts, Organ. Dustin Samuel Stoltz, Doctor of Philosophy, Sociology. Justin David Strong, Doctor of Philosophy, Theology. Paula Uparea Reyes, Doctor of Philosophy, Spanish. Juan Angel Valdez, Doctor of Philosophy, Political Science. Reverend Father President, I am pleased to present to you the graduates who have completed the requirements for a doctoral degree from the College of Arts and Letters.
I now call on Professor Patricia Culligan, the Dean of the College of Engineering, to present her recipients for the Doctor of Philosophy degree.
Will the recipients for the Doctor of Philosophy in the College of Engineering and their directors please step forward? Sandeepan Banerjee, Doctor of Philosophy, Computer Science and Engineering. Joel Robert Gray Brogan, Doctor of Philosophy, Computer Science and Engineering. Uran Isik Khan, Doctor of Philosophy, Aerospace and Mechanical Engineering. Ki Wei Chen, Doctor of Philosophy, Electrical Engineering. Kimberly Jane Curtis, Doctor of Philosophy, Bioengineering. Tyler Egan Curtis, Doctor of Philosophy, Bioengineering. Feng Gao, Doctor of Philosophy, Chemical Engineering. Evan Jameson Gerbo, Doctor of Philosophy, Civil and Environmental Engineering and Earth Science. Mehdi Golistonian, Doctor of Philosophy, Computer Science and Engineering. Homeyoon Hatami, Doctor of Philosophy, Electrical Engineering. Hayasita Sonia, Doctor of Philosophy, Aerospace and Mechanical Engineering. Robert Matthew Chemnitz, Doctor of Philosophy, Aerospace and Mechanical Engineering. Kenton William Murray, Doctor of Philosophy, Computer Science and Engineering. Joshua Mark Pauls, Doctor of Philosophy, Chemical Engineering. Jessica Hammett Schiltz, Doctor of Philosophy, Bioengineering. Andrew Francis Shank, Doctor of Philosophy, Civil and Environmental Engineering and Earth Science. Michael Waldrop, Doctor of Philosophy, Aerospace and Mechanical Engineering. Lydia Rose Wormer, Doctor of Philosophy, Aerospace and Mechanical Engineering. Thomas Andrew Zirkle, Doctor of Philosophy, Electrical Engineering. Reverend Father President, I am pleased to present to you the graduates who have completed the requirements for a doctoral degree from the College of Engineering.
I now call on Professor Santiago Schnell, the Dean of the College of Science, to present his recipients of the Doctor of Philosophy degree.
Will the recipients of the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in the College of Science and their directors please step forward? Wendy Álvarez Barrios, Doctor of Philosophy in Integrated Biomedical Science and Biological Sciences. Emily Barker, Doctor of Philosophy in Chemistry. Henriette Valinda, Doctor of Philosophy, Biological Sciences. Sage Davis, Doctor of Philosophy, Biological Sciences. Navarun Dev, Doctor of Philosophy, Physics. Madeline Dowling Smith Everly, Doctor of Philosophy, Chemistry. Christina Marie Hoare, Doctor of Philosophy, Applied and Computational Mathematics and Statistics. Jacob Arthur Long, Doctor of Philosophy, Physics. Sabrina Eve Strauss, Doctor of Philosophy, Physics. Reverend Father President, I'm pleased to present to you the graduates who have completed the requirements for a doctorate degree from the College of Science.
I now call on Professor Scott Appleby, the Dean of the Keough School of Global Affairs, to present his recipients of the Doctor of Philosophy degree.
Will the recipients of the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in the Keough School of Global Affairs and their directors please step forward? Rieti Giovanni Gingo, Doctor of Philosophy, Peace Studies, and Anthropology. Christina Marie Hook, Doctor of Philosophy, Peace Studies, and Anthropology. Reverend Father President, I am pleased to present to you the graduates who have completed the requirements for a doctoral degree from the Keough School of Global Affairs.
All doctoral degree recipients, please rise. Thank you, Dean Mastillo, Dean Culligan, Dean Schnell, Dean Appleby, and Dean Carlson. And now, by the authority vested in me as president of the University of Notre Dame du Lac, and in the name of the trustees of the university and its faculty, I solemnly and publicly confer on you the degree recommended by your dean. We admit you to all its rights and privileges and remind you of the responsibilities you are about to assume. May God bless and keep you all. Congratulations and God bless.
Congratulations. Every year, the Graduate School has the distinct honor of recognizing a small number of students and faculty for exceptional achievements in scholarship and mentoring. To learn more about the remarkable accomplishments of our 2020 honorees, I direct you to the Graduate School Commencement booklet, which provides the full citations. We are privileged to have several awardees of the Eli J. and Helen Shaheen Award and the James A. Burns CSC Award as part of our platform party. I ask that each come forward to receive their award when I announce their name. For the Shaheen Awards, from the Division of Engineering, Tyler Curtis from the Graduate Program in Bioengineering, honored for his work on biomedical imaging and spectral computed tomography. From the Division of Humanities, Paula Opurella from the Department of Romance Languages and Literatures, honored for her research on transatlantic early modern literary and cultural studies. From the Division of Social Sciences, Dustin Stoltz from the Department of Sociology, honored for his research on inequalities in wealth and politics. And for the Burns Award, Professor Joseph Warrico in the Department of Theology, honored for his many contributions to mentoring and supporting graduate students. We now recognize those students who have earned master's degrees. Master's recipients, please assemble by college at the direction of the marshals. And I'll call on Professor Sarah Mastillo, Dean of the College of Arts and Letters, to present her recipients of the master's degree.
Will the recipients of the following master's degrees in the College of Arts and Letters please step forward? Master of Arts, Master of Fine Arts, Master of Sacred Music, and Master of Theological Studies. Carly Ann Hagans, Master of Fine Arts, Design. Fatima Uriami Anyekama, Master of Sacred Music. Matthew Joseph Cole, Master of Arts, Theology. Christina Marie Krutza, Master of Arts, Theology. Reverend Father President, I am pleased to present to you the graduates who have completed the requirements for a master's degree from the College of Arts and Letters.
I now call on Professor Patricia Culligan, the Dean of the College of Engineering, to present her recipients of the master's degree.
Will the recipients of the following master's degree in the College of Engineering please step forward? Master of Science, Master of Science in Electrical Engineering, Master of Science in Environmental Engineering. Matthew Anthony Adams, Master of Science, Esteem. Namrata Bora, Master of Science, Esteem. Neve Collins, Master of Science, Esteem. Tara Claire Dehan, Master of Science, Esteem. Helen Grace Edgerton, Master of Science, Esteem. Michelle Kathleen Feely, Master of Science, Esteem. Ellen Therese Joyce, Master of Science, Esteem. Sam Douglas Gray, Master of Science, Esteem. Julia Ashley Hesseltine, Master of Science, Esteem. Rianne McDonald, Master of Science, Esteem. Fiona Catherine McDonald, Master of Science, Esteem. Clint Stephen Morris, Master of Science, Esteem. Abigail Ann O'Loughlin, Master of Science, Esteem. Abby Lynn Pavlik, Master of Science, Esteem. Lillian Gia Piz, Master of Science, Esteem. Nathan Sarabia, Master of Science, Esteem. Sarah K. Schmidt, Master of Science, Esteem. Risa Takinaka, Master of Science, Esteem. Kathleen Euler, Master of Science, Esteem. Richard Walker IV, Master of Science, Esteem. Lashanti Ray Leanne Walls, Master of Science, Esteem. Nicholas R. Wilt, Master of Science, Esteem. Reverend Father President, I am pleased to present to you the graduates who have completed the requirements for a master's degree from the College of Engineering.
I now call on Professor Santiago Schnell, the Dean of the College of Science, to present his recipients of the master's degree.
Will the recipients of the Master of Science degree in the College of Science please step forward? Michael Anthony Rocco Augugliario. Roger Kick Rees Jr. Oh, yes. Kenneth John Shelley, Master of Science, Data Science. Melissa Taylor Stephen, Master of Science, Biological Sciences. Evan Hugh Welch, Master of Science, Data Science. Shishon Adoya, Master of Science, STEM. Devin James Dacupa Roberts, Master of Science in Electric Engineering. Reverend Father President, I'm pleased to present to you the graduates who have completed the requirements of the Master of Science from the College of Science.
So, all master's degree recipients, please rise. Thank you, Dean Mastillo, Dean Culligan, Dean Schnell, and Dean Carlson. By the authority vested in me as president of the University of Notre Dame de Lac, and in the name of the trustees of the university and its faculty, I now solemnly and publicly confer on you the degree recommended by your dean. We admit you to all its rights and privileges and remind you of the responsibilities you are about to assume. May God bless and keep you all. Congratulations and best wishes. Well, Dean Carlson, Interim Provost Maziar, family and friends, it's great to be with you today to celebrate the graduate school class of 2020, a bit late, but no doubt very deserved. I welcome you and thank you for joining us. Graduates, after 2 years of unprecedented challenges, we are here together in person to celebrate you and your accomplishments. It's long overdue, but I hope for that, it is more joyful. I know how difficult it was to end your time here on campus so abruptly, but I hope the celebration this weekend allows you to celebrate your accomplishments and spend time with the people who are dear to you. While your accomplishments are truly your own, you know that you did not do it all on your own. You may have done the studying, but your families and loved ones did the sweating and stressing along with you. They cheered you up at your successes and cheered you on. They cheered you on at your successes and cheered you up at your setbacks. Many of them are here today, and others are joining virtually. They have been behind you every step of the way. So, to the mothers and fathers, siblings and spouses, friends and relatives, thank you and congratulations. And now I ask all our graduates to stand and applaud those who've supported them to this point. You are a distinguished class, boasting of many accolades and accomplishments in every field and discipline. In addition to your accomplishments within your respective disciplines, you learned how to meet the rigorous standards of your academic programs and complete the work toward your degree in the midst of a global pandemic. You may merit a second degree for that. We're not going to give it to you, however. But the lessons about perseverance and adaptability you learned will, I'm sure, serve you well in the future. Your degrees represent, too, through your talent and hard work, what you have accomplished, and they provide promise of future work. They give you the right to expect not much of the world, and they also indicate what the world has to expect of you. What does the world have to expect? I hearken back to Bob Bernhardt's really wonderful address when he talked about finding the alignment of your talents and aspirations with a calling, and that being the path to genuine joy. I just want to affirm that. I think that's really true. You're talented, you're well-trained, you'll go out and you do great things, but find that calling. Find that calling that will bring you genuine joy. And I think a large part of having a calling is to seek something beyond your narrow self-interest or your narrow ambitions, to find a way to serve the world. A critical part of living a good life is finding that way to use your talents in service to others. As Pope Francis says, we must not forget that true power at whatever level is service. Bob Bernhardt reminded us that it's also the path to true joy. We hope that each of you will find and direct your learning and efforts to service. Graduates, we congratulate you, we celebrate you, and we wish you every success. We look forward to hearing about the great things that you will do in your future. Speaking of people moving on, I want to take this opportunity to publicly thank and acknowledge, along with others have done this, but I want to add my voice to theirs. I want to thank and acknowledge Dean Carlson. Laura, as was said, recently accepted a position as provost at the University of Delaware and will be leaving us very soon. She will be much missed. We congratulate her on this new opportunity, and we congratulate the University of Delaware on making such a wise choice. We know, Laura, you will do great things there as you have done here. We could not be more grateful for your invaluable service as Vice President and Associate Provost and Dean of the Graduate School, as a faculty member in the Psychology Department. You are an exemplary scholar, teacher, and administrator. We could not be more grateful for your colleagueship, your friendship, and for all you have done for Notre Dame. Our prayers and best wishes go with you as you begin this exciting new role. Remember, you always have a home at Notre Dame. So I will bring this ceremony to an end with a brief prayer. Let us pray. Of all the gifts you have bestowed on us, Lord, none is greater than giving us intellects to seek truth, to learn, and to understand your creation. We thank you for these graduates who have labored so hard to learn and to understand. We ask that you guide them to use what they have learned to go forth, to heal, enlighten, and unify a world deeply in need. We pray this in your name. Amen. God bless.
Our commencement ceremony will now close with the singing of Notre Dame, Our Mother, led by Master of Sacred Music graduate Fatima Yuriyama Enikemema. Upon conclusion of the alma mater, I ask that all guests and graduates remain at their seats until the platform party has departed the stage. As you exit the hall, please follow the directions of the ushers and marshals and keep walking through the hall into the lobby so those following you have room to exit. Thank you for your presence here today. Now please stand and join in singing Notre Dame, Our Mother.